Thank you, Cathaoirleach. Leader, today I'm calling for a full inquiry into the ongoing system of unsafe medical practice in Ireland. On foot of the news over the summer that the UK's interim CAS report has found that the standards of clinical care, assessment and treatment at the Tavistock and Portman Gender Identity Clinic fell below acceptable standards, we should have instantly examined how this has impacted Irish children sent there. This, to my knowledge, was not done. Having spoken with an expert from Ireland's own National Gender Service, I now know not only were Irish children being sent to London to receive medical hormonal intervention as this soon-to-be defunct clinic, but that psychologists from Tavistock were being flown over to a satellite clinic in Crumlin Hospital to carry out work there. The thing is, this was operated under the Treatment Abroad scheme, but that's for Irish people to visit an EU state to receive medical care they otherwise wouldn't be able to receive. No part of that scheme deals with flying psychiatrists in from a non-EU country to do business in Ireland. Critically, this meant that these medical professionals are operating with zero indemnity. They are not covered under the Irish scheme and they are not covered by the NHS for work done in Ireland. The higher-ups in Crumlin Hospital didn't even know that this was happening. Why was this done? Because it was convenient, because it allowed this to happen under the radar without having to flag anything to the HSE by asking for a budget. Millions have been spent on this over the years. By 2019, members of the Irish National Gender Service had written to Crumlin's clinical director to voice their concerns at the practices and the care in these clinics. At a subsequent meeting, these same individuals asked for basic information from the clinical staff. How many children have been put on hormones and/or puberty blockers? They didn't know. Can we see the assessment records for the patient? They have a few, nowhere near the correct total. It was then that our own medical professionals judged the Tavistock Crumlin Satellite Clinic to be ungoverned and unsafe. One of the NGS head psychiatrists flagged this with the HSE, urging them to conduct a complete review of the Crumlin kids at both a clinical and legal level. In response, he received a letter of comfort and no further action was taken. We need a full clinical and legal inquiry into the activities of Tavistock psychiatrists at Crumlin Hospital and to check in with the children impacted and to make sure that they are looked after. This inquiry is an ask of the multiple experienced clinical psychiatrists who have spent over 20 years providing holistic health and mental care specifically for transgender people who are saying what has been done here is wrong. You can't rush children onto irreversible puberty blockers. Other countries have stopped this. Why can't we see the writing on the wall and do the same? So I'd appreciate you maybe calling for an inquiry into this as Leader of the House. Thank you.
Sharon spoke about Tavistock and her concerns, as I said, suggest a letter to the CEO.